1-2. There we go. It is working. Now we've sorted it. I don't know what happened there. Cheers for joining, everyone. Hope you're all good. That was a bit better, wasn't it? Absolutely cruised it, really, in the end. First half, we went a goal down. Didn't really ever feel like we were panicking at any stage, though, and thought we were always going to get back into the game. We were creating chances even when we went down. And, that happened, and we cracked on, and we managed to get the win. And in the end, it was comfortable. 3-1. Happy days. Everything that you want us to go on and do after going a goal behind. We've now done it 10 times. That's insane. That's an actually incredible stat that we've managed to do that 10 times. This is something about resilience is one thing, but it's a pure mentality, and it's probably even something that the opposition are starting to think about and believe now as well, where they go, do you know what? This United team does not know when it's finished. It's absolutely incredible. So, sensational stuff, really. Sensational stuff from United at the moment. Really happy with it. I thought for the 3 goals, it was a foul on Paul Pogba, and Bruno tucked it away, as you would expect him to do. Sensational stuff. Mason Greenwood and Cavani's goals, from pure technical footballing perspectives, the movement that Mason Greenwood makes towards the ball, it drags Mings alongside him. Mings gets rolled, and we were speaking about Mason hitting the ball early. Mason hits that shot so early, it's just absolutely smashed it into the bottom corner, and it's a difficult finish, and it's one that he manages to make look easy every single time. It's world class. It was world class movement and finishing. Not to say that Mason Greenwood is world class yet, because I think he's probably still got a little bit more potential to fulfill, but that was a world class moment in a game that he had. Sensational stuff. Now, Mason Greenwood's mentor currently at the moment in Edinson Cavani, this guy, for his own goal, wow. Just wow. The movement, the ball from Marcus Rashford's elite. The movement of him for this goal, again, just world-class movement. And if you can teach that to Mason Greenwood going forward, he's going to be an absolute handful. Make no mistake about it. He's ghosted him from behind, blindsided the centre-half, got in front of him, got ball side of him, and the execution of it, like with Mason's, the technical execution of it is sensational. And I know it's a header and it's fairly simple to just get it on target, stop fucking about. So many people would have headed that over. So many people would have headed that at the keeper. So many people would have headed it at shoulder height, so the keeper would have had a very, very easy save. And he's headed it down. And he's headed it down where it's unsavable. Absolutely world class. I'm devastated that even if we extend him for another year, we won't see too much of Cavani in a United shirt. And I was saying it on a watch along, and I actually think it's got to be the case now. He's been a better signing for us than Zlatan. Pound for pound, minute for minute. He's been better in a Manchester United shirt than Zlatan was. I think he's absolutely mega. And I think he's proven he could comfortably play at the top level for United in the Premier League, in the Champions League, for at least another year, if not 2, the way he's going. Because let's be honest, he looks after himself. There's nothing he doesn't need to do. Like, he's absolutely sensational. Kasim in the comments saying, we played Villa, not Barca. Why is everything elite? What they did was elite, mate. You don't have to play Barcelona to do something of world-class capability. The movement of those 2 goals was world-class. He says we should be putting them to sleep standardly, not needing world-class movements. Still the Premier League. It's still what it's all about. Yeah. Notch in the comments says top 4 Europa League and Rhodes Cup. A decent treble. We've got a tough one on our hands. The highlights will be out at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning if you want to watch Paddock FC's adventures this weekend. Hell of a game. Really good performance from us. Make sure you check that one out. Liverpool got beat 7-2 by Villa. No further questions, Your Honour. Righty, I have asked for some questions on Patreon, so I will go and check out what you are saying, both on Patreon itself and also in Discord. Let me just open it up. Let's have a wee gander. Raf says, if the board don't back Ollie in the summer, they'll lose all hope that we'll return to the top. Look at City and Chelsea. I think City and Chelsea, if you finish above City next year, you're champions. I don't think they'll be third, right? I think they'll be second at worst. I think that Chelsea are going to be very, 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 very strong. I don't think Timo Werner's going to have the season he's had this season in a negative sense. I think he's going to settle in and be an absolute handful. I think everyone, because he's become a bit of a meme, people are going to be sleeping on him, but I think he'll be brilliant next season. And I think with what they're doing, becoming so hard to beat, someone that doesn't concede a hell of a lot of goals, they're going to be a nightmare to come up against. They're absolutely going to be in the mixer next year. City keep saying that they're not going to strengthen. They definitely will. And United, if they don't want to be completely left for dust, we have to go and strengthen ourselves. It's a great question here from Adam, and he says, how much do you want to watch Cavani play live? Oh, innit? How have we not managed to sing this guy's name yet in a ground? Thomas says, does that goal really show how Mason is developing as a centre forward? Like I said, it was a world-class moment. Obviously, to be a world-class player, you got to produce that multiple times in a game, for multiple games in a month, in a season, over multiple seasons. How badly do we need to replace Lindelof? He's so poor. There was a couple of times he got caught out today, and I think he is the weaker link in that defence. I don't think it's as pressing as a right-winger issue, though. Did I notice Wan-Bissaka's improvement on the ball today? I didn't notice it today. I think it's been decent over the last couple of weeks, though. It's been getting better. Gareth says, do we need a striker, or do we let Greenwood share it with Cavani for one more season and let it be his position when Eddie leaves? I'd still look to go and get someone, because I think you could be 2 or 3 years away, at least, if he ever even gets there with Mason. And you know what? Sometimes it's not the worst thing in the world to just go get whatever you can get. And then if there's competition between him and Mason, let them fight it out. Doesn't necessarily always have to be, 2 people going for the same position's a bad thing. The cream rises to the top. What do I make of Scholes saying he doesn't see Mason as a centre forward in the future? I didn't see him say that, so I couldn't possibly comment. If he said that, I find that a strange one. Not just saying one of Fergie's best philosophies was about getting his players geared up for the second half of the season where they go turbo in the league. Is Ollie adapting the same approach, except for it's the second half of each game instead? I think I'd love to try and find out. I'm going to try and find out. I don't know who I can speak to try and find this out, but I want to be able to speak to him and say, what's happening at half time? Is there tactical changes? Is there motivational input? Is there analysis that's going down, which is identifying areas of weakness and stuff like that? That's what I would like to ask and see if I can get the answer to that, and we can actually find out whether or not Ollie's doing something at half time which is impacting this, because Jesus, the amount of games that we've come back from, it's spooky, isn't it? It's beyond spooky. Paul saying, could Garner be available for the last few games? I don't think so, because I think he'll have been registered. I think he'll have been registered to play in the Championship, and I don't know if you can also be registered to play in the Premier League at the same time in a different club. It's worth looking into, I guess, though. How badly does this Maguire injury fuck us? Let's see how bad it is, because it could do. I don't want to say a boatload. I didn't say a boatload, but did you notice some more forward passes from Pastor Fred? Yeah, there was a few. The thing is, his passing's not been the major drama with him. It's like he needs to take an extra touch in midfield, and his final third stuff's not amazing. Like, he's just not world class. And I think to play the football Ollie wants to play, I think we probably need someone who's world class. How do I think Marshall feels looking on in our potentially best season since Fergie, and he's barely missed or mentioned? It's probably not asked if you look at what his wife's saying. Does this win 100% allow us to rotate our entire 11 versus Leicester? Nah, I don't think we will rotate the entire 11. Be very interesting to see what Ollie does though over the next 2 games, because you could run the risk of, like, here's the thing, when you play hard like that, the risk of muscle injuries goes up really high, because tired muscles are more susceptible to little nicks and things like that. That's what you're going to end up getting. Rushing the players through these next 2 games with any sort of intensity might fuck us for the final. Because let's be honest, the game's about winning trophies, and if you're not winning trophies, what are we doing? XG is a valuable tool for saying how decent a shot was. Is there analysis that can aid in finding out just how good Cavani's runs into the box are other than the eye test? No, that's where you're going to need, like, AI, aren't you? You're going to need AI, and again, you're going to have to implement some sort of algorithm into the way you might be able to do it. And I'm not skilled enough to do this in any sort of coding, but one thing that you might be able to do, and if anyone is, let's have a chat about it, because it might be a big, powerful tool. If you can sort of... There's some analysis things that are going around at the moment where you kind of see these bubbles, and these bubbles sort of show areas of influence on the pitch. They show where you see maybe 2 players and 1 fullback, and then maybe the fullback's like white and the 2 players on your team are red. So you see this massive big red kind of bubble and a very small white bubble where the fullback's area of influence is. But because you've got 2 men around him, you've got this massive big area that you kind of dominate. That seems to be where a lot of analysis is going, with those sorts of areas of influence over a pitch. I reckon with Cavani's runs, there's probably something derivative of those areas of influence like that. So you might be seeing him drag players into other positions, which affects areas of influence and things like that. I'm probably not explaining this very well, and it's literally just something that I've just pulled out of my ass. So this isn't any sort of researched and peer-reviewed sort of thesis that I've got. But I think that you could easily come up with, something that maybe measures movement like that, maybe. How does one solve the Rashford-Pogba position problem? Do you sacrifice Marcus or Paul? New formation, maybe. 4-3-3. Put Paul on the left of it. Put Bruno on the right of it. And you need a world-class number 6. You get a world-class number 6. You can play that sort of thingy. I don't know who that is. And then number 9, a right winger, and play Rashford on the left. Sure, Rashford and Pogba down the left-hand side's mint. If you could replicate that on the right with Bruno, possibly Wan-Bissaka, maybe there's an upgrade to be had there. And then who the hell knows? Right, let's get the questions up here. So these are the ones that are coming from Patreon. Matt says, okay. Abhinav says, the Maguire injury is on the top of my mind. What's the situation? Don't know, mate. Sorry. I guess we'll find out in the morning. Do we think moving Pogba to the right is a valid lineup choice going forward, allowing Marcus to play in his favourite position, especially if we don't sign a right winger or a 6? That's honestly criminal negligence if we don't, with what we've done. Dean Smith is a decent coach, but the statements he made post-match, you think he's shit. His comments on a Pogba penalty was pathetic, not the decision. Haven't seen them, but it sounds like he's had a bit of a mare there, doesn't it? Seeing all his post-match saying the lads won't play 90 minutes Tuesday if they have played today and Thursday, who do I reckon plays? Have a look at the team that I put out for Europe on Thursday night in my preview. It's probably going to be that, in it. Probably a lot of Tellez, a lot of Axel, maybe Bailly. Maybe Brandon Williams, maybe Donny van der Beek gets a shout. Diallo, we will see. McNeil to replace Cavani in 2 years. He needs to hit the weights like it's absolute bulking season, doesn't he? That's what he definitely needs to do. Probably have to win the Europa League without Maguire's notch. Bruno to lift the trophy. Oof. Wowzers. Sancho or Adama Traore would improve the right side. I'll be right with you on that one, Ross. I think that's a hell of a shout. Well said. Like the video if you're enjoying seeing what we're doing at the moment. Ooh, tough call, isn't it, this week? It does sound like we're going to phone in Tuesday night and maybe try and pull it back out again for the Scousers on Thursday. Sorted. Tia says, Stephen, how much would Bruno value be if we are to sell him? Not happening, I know, but I'm just curious. It's got to be 140, hasn't it? We've got to put 100 million on his price tag. Yeah, let's start there. Nat Riley says, Saul. I didn't want to say it because people think I'm obsessed, and maybe I am, and maybe he wouldn't even be all that good, but, you know, a boy can dream, and sometimes that's what I like to see. Apparently, Ollie said Maguire injury could be weeks. Well, that's a fucking ball bust, isn't it? That's the finals on the 26th. He might do well to just say, sit out, and I'll see you in the final. That might be the move. Will City bottle it? No, they won't. City won't bottle it. You better believe I'll die of laughter if they do, but they're not going to bottle it. Adichie says, hi Steve, I'm a data scientist. Would like to hear your thoughts on applying AI in football. Hit me up on Twitter or see the email that's on my Twitter and get in touch there if you want. I won't mind having a look into it and seeing what could be done, but you know. Comeback Kings have done it again. You have a problem with that, report it to your local authority to help. Well done, guys. Wanting to buy the paddock kit, green and gold. How do I do it? The public approval we are still waiting on, so sit tight on that one. If you're interested in the red kit, in fact, 1 second, I'll get it you. Will, get us a red paddock kit, please. Red paddock kit. In there. But if you are interested in getting your hands on the red one, we will be posting those out, I believe, from the 19th, is it? About a week? Yeah, approximately a week. We'll be posting these out to patrons and members who have ordered those. So Will's just bringing me this one. Just the red one, please. Thank you. So there you go. This is our new home shirt for next season. Currently only available to members and patrons. If you want to get in the mixer, the link for that is in the description. And it will be available to the public on the 1st of June. The green and gold kit, there might be some news on that tomorrow, so sit tight. But maybe join the Patreon, you might find out some news about that on there as well. If United wins the rest of the Premier League matches and City lose the rest and draw one, yes, but come on, man. It's not likely, is it? Such a good team. They're not going to do that. We have Puma as shirt sponsors. Yes, we do. We signed a 4-year deal with Puma. And the kit's fantastic. What's BDS and whose uncle owns it? BDS is a scaffold design company, and I don't know whose uncle owns it. But you can find out more about them on our website. Aside from Jose's last season, always giving a debut to a youth player, have we done that already? Sure, Tyre. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's been another one. Can't think off the top of my head. Did Maggie get one this year as well? Donny Teller's Bay starting on Tuesday. I think that's the case. Yeah, the green and gold kit is beautiful, and we do have an update for you. I'm just waiting for the thumbs up to put it public from Puma. We've got how it will actually look. Obviously, we've got a 3D graphic mock-up, but we've got how it will actually look as well. It looks fucking mint, to be honest with you. And also the shorts and socks. Nat says, do I think Shaw is decent now? I think he's playing very, very well. I said it on the watch-along. I think from January onwards, I think he's been very good. I think people that was talking about his performances in September and October were seeing flashes of real good stuff, but I think he was still a little bit off it defensively. I think that's just not been the case for probably at least a couple of months now. He's really improved in a lot of areas, and I think Ollie needs a lot of credit for managing this entire situation. It's been sensational. What do I make of the Watkins sending off? He's dived. Let's have it right. He's dived, and it's a booking, and that's the one. Duo says, Shaw just looks so much quicker and fitter and more aggressive. He really does. There's no denying it. We're already 4 points better off than last season. How many points did we get under Jose? We got, was it 81? We finished 19 off City. We got 100. Something like that. I think we got 81, didn't we? Ash in Patreon is saying Calvert-Lewin scored again today. He's either 9 we should get. Well, there may be some information on that in the Patreon. So if you are interested in maybe some of the little tidbits we are hearing, there's also another striker that we've been linked to. Personally, I think that we wanted Calvert-Lewin and have been told a price that we don't want to pay with Everton. So there's someone else that we're looking at. Can't wait for the before and after photos of Ollie winning trophies on the 26th of May. Yes, Raf, they'll be brilliant, won't they? They will be brilliant. And I really fancy us in the final. I really, really do. I really do. Think we'll see Diallo on Tuesday? I think we might. And on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. But make sure to go and check out the Paddock FC channel. And if you're interested in coming playing for Paddock FC, you're in the Manchester area, we are moving players up into the leagues as we wanted to. There's going to be players signed by semi-pro clubs. If you think you're probably good enough to be at a semi-pro club, this might be the route in for you. But if you want to check out the highlights from yesterday's brilliant game, they'll be out at 9 o'clock in the morning. Cheers for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.